As we gather here this Memorial Day, let us take a moment to honor and remember those who have served and sacrificed for our country. We owe a great debt of gratitude to our fallen heroes who fought to safeguards of our nation's freedom and democracy. It's important that we never forget the immense sacrifices made by our brave soldiers, sailors, airmen and women, Marines, Coast Guardsmen and women who served in times of war and peace. They put their lives on the line to safeguard our way of life, and we must honor their legacy by upholding the ideals they fought for. On this day, we pay tribute to those who gave their lives while serving in the armed forces. They came from all walks of life and all corners of our great nation, but they all shared a deep love of this country and a willingness to defend it with their lives. As we remember their sacrifices, let us also recognize the families and the loved ones they left behind. They too have made immense sacrifices in giving up their sons and daughters, husbands and wives, and brothers and sisters in service to our country. As we go about our daily lives, let us never forget the heroes who gave their lives to protect the freedoms we enjoy today. Thank you.
Uncovered. Gracious God, on this Memorial Day weekend, we remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in the service of our country when the need was greatest. They stepped forward and did their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy and to win the same for others. O God, you yourself have taught us that no love is greater than that which gives itself for another. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself, for loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, and for us. Help us to honor their memory by caring for the family members they have left behind, by ensuring that their wounded comrades are properly cared for, by being watchful caretakers of the freedoms for which they gave their lives, and by demanding that no other young men and women follow them to a soldier's grave unless the reason is worthy and the cause is just. Holy One, help us to remember that freedom is not free. There are times when it costs us, indeed, dearly. Never let us forget those who paid so terrible a price to ensure that freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Help us to be worthy of their sacrifice. O God, help us to be worthy. Amen. Cover.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to everyone who participated here, the Boy Scouts, our wonderful volunteer firemen throughout our town. Today we're filled with humility, and we're filled with humility because of those that made the sacrifice for us. And we should be filled with humility all the other days throughout the year. These were courageous men. Courage is almost a contradiction in terms. It means a strong desire to live, taking the form of a readiness to die. I was at Mass this morning, and a good friend of mine, who's a member of the Corps over here, the volunteer firemen, he made it a point to note one of the veterans that was at Mass. He had a shirt on, and I think this is as down to earth as it gets. The shirt was in the form of a definition, and it said veteran, noun, and the definition said a person who wrote a blank check payable to the United States of America for an amount of up to and including one's life. Thank you, and I'll end it on that.
I appreciate the introduction, and I'm honored to be here. This is my hometown. I grew up in Monroe, so it's always great to be back here. Appreciative of everybody that came out today, especially my brothers and sisters in emergency services, fire services, EMS, police, and of course all my fellow veterans. On Memorial Day is a holiday or a day that's constantly confused with people. I will get text messages and emails tomorrow from friends and people I don't know saying Happy Memorial Day or thanking me for my service, but that's not what it's about. It's pretty simple. It's in the word Memorial Day. It's to remember the folks that can't come back and wear a garrison cover like me and share our thoughts. So let me just be very brief on what I do and what I think about on Memorial Day. I think about people I served with that couldn't come home. I think of a young Lance Corporal named Gilberto Colon. We called him Gil. He was 21 years old when he died. He wasn't even old enough to drink when I knew him. And he was a first generation. His parents both Spanish, couldn't even speak English like my parents off the boat. And he was honored and so full of life to be serving in the Marine Corps and our country. And I know his parents miss him, and my team and my friends miss him today. I also think of a staff sergeant, Marine sniper, Nate Cortez Peck, 30 years old, passed away. He would have been 33 today. And I remember I went to his funeral in Arlington. His mom and fiance waited until the rest of the team got home from Iraq so they could all be there to be part of his burial. And it was one of those ceremonial, the ones that you think about in Arlington, where every one of his colleagues take their warfare pin off their chest and nail it in with their fist into his casket. And I remember talking to his mom afterwards. Her only son sacrificed for this country. But a great guy, one of the best snipers of our generation here. And I think about him. I also think you don't have to go and look at my memory bank. You can go right here in Monroe. Major Paul Volke and a number of other folks who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our community here. So when I think about Memorial Day and I reflect on their sacrifice, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate this great, wonderful country. And lastly, it's said often, you live a life worth their sacrifice. That's what we can do. So thank you for letting me share some time with you today, and thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, forever waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the rooted plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
My country is of thee, sweet lands of liberty, of thee I say. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's Bride. From every mountainside let freedom.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above.
From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet land that I love. Stand beside her mountain majesties
above the fruited plain.
America,
America, God shed His race on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Joseph, beautiful, thank you.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Army. Our flags unfurled to every breeze from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands and in sunny tropic seas, you will find us always on the job. The United States Army. Here's health to you and to our corps, which we are proud to serve.